Instruction in fluency can take many different forms. But what's important is that readers can be taught to read with expression and to increase their reading rate. So this means that teachers need to pay attention to several different parts of what children are doing. Teaching students to read words very quickly, their word recognition skills, to decode them quickly is very important. But it's important that we have children do this in connected text, in other words, not in isolation. Because if fluency were just word recognition, then having children reviewing and rehearsing word lists might make sense, but the National Reading Panel has stated that it's more than that. That there's evidence that such training is not sufficient, and it won't necessarily transfer to reading connected text or, reading books and articles. Competent reading requires skills that extend beyond that single word level. And that means that children need to be able to put to use all of the various skills they have in reading connected text. And they need to practice that reading in books and in articles. Students also need instruction and expression. So it's not just fast recognition that's important. And we need to begin that fluency instruction very early. Of course, we are going to be instructing for word recognition and for decoding early, but we also need to be instructing for expression early and continue teaching for it throughout grades 3 and 4, and for some children beyond 4th grade. The fluency work, or the teaching that you do for fluency, does not need to take a lot of time, 15 to 30 minutes per lesson. And this can be done while students are working on other things as well. If they're reading in connected text, in stories, in articles, then you can be attending to that as well as other things. It should be engaged in, children should be engaged in other reading activities during the lesson, and that would include comprehension instruction. There are some recommendations of the National Reading Panel. First of all, for repeated reading and also for guided oral reading. And let me talk a little bit more about each of those. The purpose of repeated reading and guided oral reading is to help students develop fluent reading habits, so that would allow them to read more quickly and accurately and with appropriate expression and understanding. With repeated reading and guided oral reading, the teacher is modeling fluent reading. The students are reading passages aloud with guidance.
Here's an example of a teacher modeling fluent reading.
He was massive. All pirates are massive. He was scruffy. All pirates are scruffy.
Daily read-alouds can be a favorite time for first graders, and it's also an opportunity for teachers to build in their students an understanding of how fluent reading sounds.
He was greedy. All pirates are greedy.
Teachers model by reading with expression and communicating understanding through appropriate phrasing and intonation.
Frequent teacher modeling leads to student modeling of fluent reading behaviors.
In this classroom, it's the students' turn to model fluent reading.
Oh, no. I can't play. I can't play with you, Freddie. Not now. Can't you see I'm eating spaghetti?
The child chosen to be Reader of the Day knows to practice the book before reading to the class.
Can't you see I need more spaghetti, I say?
Carolyn Earnhardt and her students developed a rubric for the Reader of the Day so students have a clear understanding of what's expected.
Tell me something else a good reader does. Mackenzie.
Read with expression.
All right, you have to read with expression. You want to keep your listeners involved. So you have to read with expression. Something else, Kristen?
Read in a teacher voice.
And what is a teacher voice?
Read in kind of a loud voice, but not too loud.
Okay, where it can be heard, right? You want everyone to be sure that they hear you. Corey?
Practice it at least 2 times.
Right, a good reader usually always practices the book at least 2 times.
In addition to modeling fluent reading, teachers can improve fluency through planned instructional activities. The instructional techniques identified in the following modules will offer a range of activities to help students practice reading. Some of the methods involve individual reading, partner reading, sharing in small groups, and whole class activities. The key features of all of these activities is the opportunity for students to practice rereading a passage several times as they develop speed, accuracy, intonation, expression, phrasing, and pausing. The following activities are designed to support teachers as they learn and study about the following instructional techniques: assisted and unassisted repeated reading, choral reading, partner reading, and reader's theater.